we're back with A43 TV, and we have David Green with us, who's the Director of Finance and Development for Osprey Village. We were having a great conversation, but there's still a few more things to talk about. It's a collaborative. It's a community. It takes a village to help the population. And first of all, I want to start off with this. We're talking about the disabilities and people working together. So tell us about the nonprofits that you do work with.
Right. So our Osprey Village nonprofit was one of the founders of the Disabilities Coalition of Beaufort County. And that coalition recently came out with this Disabilities Resource Guide, which is basically packed full of information of all sorts of different organizations, different age levels of services and so forth, everybody from the Beaufort County School District to the Beaufort County Disabilities and Special Needs Board, Programs for Exceptional People, Heroes on Horseback, Special Olympics, and a number of others, so that we've got, I think there's about 20 different organizations that are participating in that now. And the real reason behind that was so many of these organizations are dealing with the same people. I've got a 38-year-old son with autism. He's a member of Programs for Exceptional People. He participates in Heroes on Horseback and Special Olympics. He participates in the programs that we have been providing. And so it makes sense for us to try and collaborate, coordinate our efforts versus trying to everybody do their own thing. And so this is something that we've been working on along with Pockets Full of Sunshine, and there's a brand new organization called Full Spectrum, which is now doing artwork with those folks. So, there's just a lot of things happening here in the area that...
I just got the chills.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear that because,
Listening
really
to all those organizations you mentioned, you hear about those, and wow, there's a lot of...
There are.
A lot of them that help, and that's so great. You can collaborate and help each other out, essentially, and provide so many options.
Yeah, and we're thankful the county community services grant is actually what paid for production of this, and it's also available online at Disabilities Guide. I think it is disabilitiesguide.org. I can't remember that.
We'll put the website on the screen for everybody.
Yes.
Now back to the project, the big project,
Yeah.
and you mentioned that we are potentially, hopefully, maybe a year away from trying to construct something.
Right. We have developed a number of housing plans. One of the things we're doing with Osprey Village, which is innovative, is we don't plan on doing any group homes. It's going to be all 1- and 2-bedroom apartments, primarily some cottages, perhaps maybe a 3-bedroom or so, but also perhaps 1 or 2 apartments, which would be 1-bedroom, maybe 8 units of apartments. And the idea is that under the new regulations that the Medicaid folks at the federal level have put out, people need to be able to determine where they want to live, who they want to live with, and who they want to have provide their services. So unlike most of the group homes and other types of facilities here in the state, we're not going to necessarily tie services to the residential part of it. You have a lease for your apartment. You decide who you want to live with if you have an extra bedroom or you want someone else to share that. And you decide who you're going to have as your service provider. So it may be us, it may be the ARC, it may be Beaufort County Disabilities and Special Needs Board, but that's up to you. We're trying, basically, freedom of choice in all of that is what we're working on.
That's important too.
Yeah.
That says a lot. And so we have some help publicly for funding, right?
Yes.
Weren't you just awarded a fund?
Yes. The Community Foundation of the Low Country a couple of years ago gave us a grant which was 2 parts. One part was $60,000 to help pay for our engineering and architectural design and so forth, and we've got land plans and other things. You can go on our website, ospreyvillage.org, and see those. But also there was a $90,000 challenge match grant. Essentially, we needed to get 3 groups of $30,000 donations, and they would match that, which we have done and they have done. So we now have had that money, and we've been using that money, working with our engineers, working with the architects, working with the land planners and so forth to lay this all out. We've got 25 acres to develop, and we're not going to develop it all at once, obviously. But doing that in phases, and how do we do that, and how do we lay it all out?
Well, I think the first phase we're talking about is that you have a road.
Right.
We have the road going in.
The road is back into East Argent, right across from Old Field, and there's all the basic utilities, water, sewer, electric, gas are all going through there. So, we can now get to the land and actually look at it. It's basically nothing but trees at the moment, but it's to the point where once we get the funding to be able to move forward, we'll be able to start.
So what do we need to do to get the funding? How can the community help you? That's what we want to know.
Well, if anybody looks at this project and says, I'd really like to support that, I like the vision you have, you can contact us through our website. There's a contact form there, and we'd be happy to sit down and talk with you about opportunities to support that development. I'm sure we'll have some naming opportunities for things like our community center and other facilities
rooms
within the
and
building.
buildings. We always like those, right?
Yeah, but
we find through all the shows and so many groups that we talk with, our community is so generous and
Yes.
has such a great heart to support very important things like this. And so someone listening here today and doesn't know much about it, they can talk to you, and I'm sure you're happy to sit down with them and meet them
Yes.
and see how they can partner with
Right.
you in this wonderful project.
yes, I mean, we've got all sorts of information to provide them, but more importantly, we want to hear about what their interest is and why they want to support something like what we're doing.
Exactly. It's a quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for a population that, they're here and they want to have the best possible life they can have. They have the disabilities that doesn't give them the ability to do what we do all day long, but we want to give them a quality of life as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it's great.
we call this concept a neighborhood with a purpose.
There you go.
So-
There you go.
Well, we appreciate you sharing all that, and we've enjoyed learning a lot more today about Osprey Village, and we hope you all have learned a little bit more about it too. So we thank you for watching 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak. We'll see you next time.